Hello, my name is Richard Williams Peters III. In the recent past times, I used to work here at Sistar Donner, where it was a factory. Anyhow, and this is the security booth right here. I used to have to walk this parking lot almost every day. It's amazing how people don't really care about other people's career and duties as a security officer and patrolling this kind of area. Now, I used to stay up every single night doing sitting in this box and then patrolling the area. Now, I haven't never had any problems really, but back in 2002, when I'm working here, law enforcement cannot extinguish the difference between a person who has a full-time job, okay, and people in security who have a full-time job and they work 8 to 12 hours a day. You're not going to have any. You're not going to be involved in drugs or involved in crime or involved in domestic violence. You're not going to be involved in anything. It's other people who bring you to be involved because of their nonsense beliefs. Now, I worked very hard every day, and that's all I love doing is going to work. Oh my God, I enjoyed it. Being there all night, doing paperwork, going inside, making sure there's no fire hazard. A couple of times I've had to put out a fire right here because somebody would light their cigarette and just burn the ashtray down. It's like, oh my God, put out the fire, bonehead. People put the garbage there and they burn it. But I've lived in Carson, California for approximately about 12 years. And in that 12-year period, my experiences being in California has been hell on earth. I mean, these cops here, like Mark here, one time I had told him, he's actually a friendly guy. This guy is really friendly, but his maturity is ignorant. I mean, he's an idiot. Um, I told him about Elena Burnell being all domestically violent, and he would walk past me and say, "Oh, that's all in your head." Actually, it's not in my head. And it was amazing how cops disregard human lives, and they do. They're not about protecting anyone. They're about protecting their own, and they're about protecting women and children. That's their first minority and their priority. Now, Christine Magley of the Concord Police Department on the 17th of October of 2004, the day before, uh, the day before my daughter would actually be taken and never seen again. Today, I won't show ID to cops anymore. If they want my ID, they can go to the courthouse and get a warrant for my ID. Because, one, I've never served time in prison and I never will. Because I'm not the kind of man who feels that I need to go out and break the law just because. Okay, I don't have money or the time to go around breaking the law. There's no reason to do that. Now, when I was working at a parking shop as a security officer, I worked in various places. I worked here at Bank of America in 1996 and so forth. And I used to come here to the adult basic school here, and I'd go here to class try to upgrade my math because my mathematics were down way low. Times tables and algebra. I can only do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And the twos, the threes I didn't know, the fours I didn't know. I know the fives and ten, and so forth. But when it came down to mathematics like algebra, such as a square root, that wasn't taught to me as a child because the government was restricting me from a normal education for 14 years and 3 months. See, social services, children protective services, they will do everything they in their power to make sure that people like me are not successful. They don't care. What they care about is getting the bonuses that they get from the federal government, and that's what they do. Now, for 14 years and 3 months, I've missed out on education, being forced antipsychotic medication, being forced to surrender to whatever they want, whatever they say goes. Second of all, if Concord Police Department would have checked out my social security number, one, I've never served time in county jail, and I never will. Uh, I've never been to criminal court in my life, not at all. I mean, that's the courthouse. I've never even been to criminal court. You know, Not one time has any of the programs, such as the Phoenix program, the Antioch Phoenix shelter, they never had any warrants to issue and say, well, you need to go do a random drug test. No, I don't need to do a random drug test. It's against the Constitution, Fifth Amendment, and the First Amendment, and the Third Amendment, or whatever. And it's insane how these people just go around telling people what to do when they don't have the authority to do it. They need to come to the courthouse and get permission. Because one, in 1996, when I moved into Concord, California to begin with, I moved to Concord, California with absolutely no record at all. There was never any mental health record. There was never uh, anything. In 1998, that Hume Center had made a false, fraudulent disability claim, and the Social Security Administration, who is federal government, can actually verify the factors. They can tell you exactly everywhere I've lived, the history of where I've been, and never once have I ever been involved in anything. See, I've been involved because the police say I was. Now, I've lived here in Martinez, California, right where this heart is. I lived right here. Yeah, I lived right there. So why would I live in front of a county the county jail right across from the street and be a criminal at the same time? First of all, I don't socialize with people who have been in jail. That's one of my number one rules. I don't socialize with people who have been convicted. I do not socialize with people who are mostly male because most of the males I am prejudiced towards. Period. I don't hang out with them. I don't go do things with them because most majority of males they're either combative or they want to fight or they want to do you harm because you said something they don't like. It's like, what the fuck? Like Scott, for example, at the Concord Fellowship, he wore a ponytail. I don't know if he was a cross-dresser or if he was a faggot, but I'm sitting there being all polite, being nice, and saying, yeah, yeah, God will fix it. And he go, you need to shut up. I'm going to bounce your head right off the fucking cement. Like, what the fuck? If I had a 22 and a gun right there and then, I would have went back into the AA and put the gun to his head and fucking shot that motherfucker. Because nobody needs to threaten me. I mean, shit. You need to say, oh, thank you, bro, for being kind, man. Thanks, bro. That's how people need to be. So if you take my message and read it very closely, because that is exactly how people treat people like me who are friendly. Why are people scared of friendly? Now, as a student at Ashford University in 2010 and 11, I almost had everything in order. I mean, but my focus was on Yvonne, my daughter. And people always want to make things out to be something that it's really not. And being able to take Children and Family Services to federal court and sue them and hold them accountable for taking Yvonne in the first place when I already told them. And I told Nanette Dupree on the 13th of October of 2004, you need a motherfucking warrant, bitch. Go get a warrant. I mean, these women think they have the right to say, well, we want you to do drug treatment, we want you to go do this, we want you to go do that. And, they were supposed to give public assistance to Elena Burnell, and I already told them that I wasn't going to stay with Elena Burnell at all. I told them that I'm going to leave Elena Burnell and go find a work because I was supposed to be working at the City Hall of San Francisco. That's where I was supposed to be to go check in and see if they're going to hire because that would have been good money. That would have been good bank. Oh, yeah. But you know what? The government doesn't give a shit about men like me who are on Social Security benefits or are not supposed to be on Social Security benefits. They will force you to be what they want you to be. And that's how the government is in California. And if that's not true, then they need to fucking back up their shit and prove it. That's what they need to do. The fucking courts need to fucking prove it. Because I don't need to prove nothing. If they were to contact the Cherokee County District Court, they would have actually learned that they do not have the authority over juvenile sealed records from the state of Kansas. Period. They have no authority, no jurisdiction. Lois Hayes had basically made it very clear for me to shut up. I don't want to see your evidence. I don't want to hear your evidence. I don't care. You're unfit. Clink. I had to take a big deep breath and mumble under my voice. You're better off dead, woman. You're better off dead. Part 1.